Now, here's Kat Anders.
Okay, I see 2 marriages in your hand. Now, counting up from the flirt lines. The first third of that section is about age 20, 30. The next third's about 40, 50. The last third's about 60, 70, 80. So, starting at the flirt lines, going up. First marriage lines, good color, but it's a little bit rocky at first, because I get a little bit of a line in there that starts and then it kind of hooks onto the marriage line. But it's fairly long marriage. But you have to understand that women outlast men. Generally, men die 6 to 8 years before the women do, because they have weaker genes. They have the XY and the women have the XX. 6 to 8 years usually, women end up as widows. That's why we've got so many widows running around. Good color. And then that second marriage is just a little tiny short one. Way late in your life, and it's really short. Only about 10 years or so. First marriage down there should never have happened. It's not a very dark line at all. And the line is really light. Looks more like a relationship line. Then you got one relationship line. It's kind of long, but it sits right up against that second marriage. Yeah, I think that relationship line is just before your second marriage. I don't think that's the relationship that you had right after your marriage, because that was, well, that's at 30. Anyway, it sits really close to that marriage line, but that marriage line is a separate line. So then that second line, that second marriage line, it's very good. It's got a nice color to it. It's long and it's straight, indicating no problems and all. A really good marriage line. Now, I can't tell you exactly when you're going to be married. However, there is a little marking that sits on that fate line. The fate line starts at the bottom of your wrist, or not the wrist, it sits at the bottom of your palm. And it goes up to the Saturn finger only. And I don't know why the marriage line sits on there, but it's a little marking that looks like the letter Y. It's a little stick with like a fork on it. So then I looked in that fate line. Oh, and that where that fate line crosses the headline, that's about age 40. Where it crosses the heart line, that's about 50. So I looked on that fate line to see if you've got that little marking. And down there at the bottom it says chances to marry, and that's where this little mark set on that fate line, time-wise, at 41. See, I'm reading right down there at the bottom of where it's talking about your marriages, in purple, chances to marry, age 41, 44, 46. The one at 41 was a little more, no, the one at 44 was a little more prominent. But then that marriage line's a nice long marriage line, 30, 40 years probably. So I get 2 lines in there, and you didn't say if you'd been married before, if you'd had relationships or anything, but I'm going to have to assume that first line, and that's the horizontal line that's in red, it was a relationship earlier in your life, maybe in your 20s. Then I get a really good marriage line, very good, nice color. It's quite long, and I got a note there, did you marry in your early 30s? Because it looks to me like you got, sometimes you can see when the marriage line is off that lifeline, and it looked like it was in the early 30s. I don't think you'll have more children. Those other lines are grandchildren lines. They're way too light. And I don't think you'll have another marriage either. But this is a good long one. And you didn't tell me when you married, so that kind of stifles me as far as telling you how long that's going to be. It looks like it's 40 or 50 years long. Well, let's see if it's 50. That puts you in your 80s.